Hello there, baby dolls. Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Bitcoin is starting to thrust in the upwards direction, which is very lovely. This is the Bitcoin monthly price, 110,000 American dollars. What a swift recovery. 3 green months in a row. Ever since pretty much everybody said it was over, all the way down here, 74,000 US dollars down here. And then we had a whopping 47% move up. The bad thing is, though, I mean, it was kind of disappointing. Even though Bitcoin went up this much, the business ISM was pretty garbage still for around 48.3. So hopefully these things start to change around very, very soon. I'm going to show you the daily chart for BTC. This is the daily super trend. We pretty much avoided death here, but I won't be surprised, friends, and you shouldn't either. Remember, Bitcoin has now come around its 61.8% retrace. It's come around here, okay? So if we do get some sort of little like jitter down, all I'm saying is don't be nervous, okay? It's going to be poopy. Our mood's already dampened, right? But like if we get something like that, or where there's like another reset here and then everyone's like, oh crap, this thing sucks. Why is it going down? Right? Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully that is enough. We don't have to pretty much go through something like that. But if we do, at least you're prepared. That's all. Because this cycle has taken a very, very, very long time. You can also feel everyone's like giving up. But usually what happens with markets, right? When everyone's giving up, there's still one more like little bear, right? And then sometimes what you end up seeing is you're very familiar with this by now. Like maybe it's just like a $3,000 Bitcoin drop, which is nothing. And everyone's like, oh my gosh. But it's like, you look at the move and everyone's mood and you're like, man, the move wasn't even that big. It's just that it's been so long and then we still can't go up. So we'll be waiting to see if that happens or not. This is Bitcoin on the weekly. The weekly chart is doing a nice emphatic push up, which is wonderful to see. The green weekly super trend is still on. So the bull market is still on. Everything is still on. But yes, where is our alt season? This is the Ethereum weekly chart. Check it out right now. Ethereum, friends, has done a very nice show of its hand here with this nice jittery stuff. Do you remember yesterday, friends, in my juicy news, I told you about Cheds. Oh, no, it was my other episode, right? One of my episodes yesterday, I told you about Crypto Cheds. He's a trader, trades off Bollinger Bands. He called this bearish, right? He said, basically, he said Ethereum had a quad star. He's like, oh, the bulls can't push up. It's a quad star. And I'm just... See, friends, we're looking at the exact same pattern. And he's going, oh, that thing's bearish. And I'm saying, no, it's bullish, right? So just what's going to happen doesn't really matter, okay? Doesn't really matter because it's outside of our control anyway. But yeah, I mean, we did such a big move down, okay? And then we reversed up, okay? When I'm seeing something like this, I can feel the shorts, man. I know all you cuck mercantile exchange, you garbage subhuman filth. I know you're all short from 3,000. I know that's like the perfect number we're going to get used to by the end of the year. Then you're going to get liquidated. And guess what? As Ethereum charges up, Bitcoin dominance will be going down as well. That's why it's going to double suck for them short. Because not only were you betting against UFO technology, Ethereum, and altcoins, not only were you that stupid and that much of a gambler betting against it, believing this time is different, okay? You're also going to feel the pain of opportunity cost, okay? Those cockroach gut filthy scum. So they're going to feel the pain of a retardio who doesn't know what they're doing, seemingly. They're just longing and holding stuff. They're just still waiting around. So their portfolio's going up as those people are simultaneously getting crushed. So it's going to be great, but let's wait and see what happens. Bitcoin dominant is still pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing through the highs. Seemingly, it can't stop at all. Nothing stops this train, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I've seen markets do this forever and ever and ever and ever. I remember just so many times, friends, but I've done microcosm trades of these, you know, daily trades and swings and months and weeks, right, in my like 10 plus year career trading. So I've just seen stuff where everyone in the office, everyone's like, man, this thing is literally never coming back. It's never coming back. And as soon as you say that, yeah, just wait a bit. It just sits there forever and ever and ever until it finally starts to go. And then you get to see the real move. I've got the chart here with the Fibonacci extension as well for BTC. The Fib, friends, from the top to the bottom, takes it around, you go look at this chart here, takes us around the 130K. That would be the 1.618 extension for BTC. And then I guess we'll see what happens from there. What I'm feeling, I'm just guessing, man. We don't know. I think, friends, when we get there, there'll be a bit of an alt season, but not much, maybe. Enough to get everybody out. all of the mainstream KOLs. I reckon as we get to 130, okay, Bitcoin stops. Because remember, they're all aiming for 150 plus. They're not selling. So I think as this happens and maybe rejects here, blockchain backer, Uncle Bobby, many KOLs going to be calling for the end. And by the way, Crypto Banter, by the way, they're all ready to sell. Ivan, everyone's ready to sell. Everyone's selling here. Just letting you know. Just telling you, friends, every single KOL you watch with me on YouTube and you hear about them and you see about them, you know how they all talk, oh, Bitcoin, 250K, 200K, khara. All of it's lies. All of it's gazeb, all of it. Okay, they'll be selling here. All right, they'll all be selling. But they're not going to tell you. All right? When will they tell you they've sold? After this happens, okay? When this part happens, all right? That's when they tell you, oh, I was taking profit up here. You know how I know this? Well, my experience. You know, I've been telling you stuff like this since 2022 because I remembered. Okay? I remembered, friends. The honey badger never forgets. You know, that's exactly what they did here. Did you know that? By the way, go check all of them. Go check all their tweets. Go check all their YouTube videos. You know who you are, all of them. I was watching. All of you scum couldn't wait to tell us that you took profit up here only in the midst of the crash. And by the way, guess what? A lot of them, friends, were actually just selling down here. Uncle Bobby sold a third. Ivan sold a third. A lot of them just sold. They sold down here. Okay? Mark my words. A lot of them, by the way, get insider KOL allocations as well. So when they say they're taking profit, what they actually remember, when we get down to here, they remember, go, oh yeah, I was dumping my, you know, my 10% monthly allocation for some stock, some crypto altcoin that I was getting unlocks for, that I was like promoting on my channel or whatever. All right? Trying to tell you, friends, it's a game, okay? Everybody's trying to basically push each other in, you know, to buying or selling. It's a game. So I'm helping you keep informed, stay informed. Now we're going to crank it a bit. This is the OTHERS-BTC chart right here. OTHERS-BTC is still garbage. Remember, it's a monthly chart. I don't waste my time with the smaller ones, friends. Monthly chart, it's going to take a while. Okay, so how long? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, at some point, couple Ethereum with Roca Negra, real world assets, stablecoin, supercycle, mumble and jumble, all of them, with everybody in the world is short Ethereum. They are fading Ethereum. Nobody owns Ethereum, friends. They all own soy. All of them own soy. All of them own a short on Ethereum. So all underexposed. CME, all the institutions, all those scum, they have record shorts of Ethereum. Their average volume node is around 3,000. It's around 3,000 or 3,100. So like we basically lined up the perfect macro storm for a big, fat, huge, like 1 or 2 green candles that just do something like that. Okay, 1 or 2 green months that does something like that. And then, but you're like, oh, wow, it's going to be great. Not really. I mean, like, you're like, wow, okay, now we're literally just back to 4 years ago instead of 7 years ago. Right now, that's how bad these things are, by the way. Friends, this is May 2017. Do you understand? Yeah, it's horrible it is. We have reverted 8 years of gains. So it's funny, right? It's just what markets do. Okay, literally the altcoin market is literally what it's pricing in right now. It's saying altcoins, you should not have existed for the past 8 years. That's how low the price is. That's what that's what they're saying. Not even exaggerating. They go, you've literally added no value to society and the world in 8 years. 8. So all Bitcoin's done is get FOMO leverage buying. They buy and that's it. Okay, that's it. They do nothing else. Oh, I'm storing my value. You're doing literally nothing. So that's what markets do, man. That's what they do. Yeah, they squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Right? That's what effectively they're also saying is they're saying DeFi, you're worth nothing. Stable coins are worth nothing. Real world assets, NFTs, DEXs, Uniswap, you're worth nothing. ChainLink, you're worth nothing. Decentralized identities, you're worth nothing. Gaming, you're worth nothing. Metaverses, you're worth nothing. Literally social media, everything you can conceive of, you are worth 0. That's what literally the market is saying. That's wild, man. That's literally wild. Because you are literally worth 0. Digital pet rock is better than you in every single way. How does digital pet rock help with privacy? You got no privacy solutions? Oh, no. I'm gonna drive with my blinders on. That's literally what everyone's doing, you know. Okay. That's why the unwind is gonna be huge, but we're waiting forever for it. That's why I look at it. I'm also, when I tell you this, it's also a reminder for me, okay, the first wave of Bitcoin will have a lot of retail buying. I can tell. All right. There will be somewhere here where retail are buying the Bitcoin dip. I can feel it already. And that's not going to be the end. Okay. Then they're going to be like, hey, what were you doing, bro? You literally, you've got to unwind 4 years of Bitcoin dominance going up. 4 years. These people don't know a world where altcoins go up. They don't know that world. Think about all the new people, all the new countries, the ETF buyers. Interesting too, right? You know, the friends, the Bitcoin ETF has only existed in a world of Bitcoin dominance going up. It's only existed in that world. None of the boomers and stock market and Johnson & Johnson, baby bum paradox. None of those have seen a world where altcoins are going up. Okay, because in their world, it's just, oh, Michael Saylor says $13 million Bitcoin. Cool. These countries are buying. I'm going to get rich. So we still need more patience. Now, I'm going to crack on with some cracker news actually for you, friends. So Tether has minted $2 billion. Remember, Tether is the lifeblood of everything out here. That's Tether, that's stable coins, right? So they're minting more money. But remember, they only mint because there's demand. It's like there's $2 billion. People want to, I guess, buy and hold and use it for whatever case. They call it inventory replenishment, right? So you can actually see that on my global liquidity, and see this red line chart. This is the global liquidity chart to yellow. The red is Tether's market cap. You see it's up to 154 billion now. So it's keep rising and rising and rising and rising. And here he is, nice. BTC is moving along with the global liquidity. Remember, that's what makes Bitcoin actually special. Bitcoin goes up with the money printer, okay? But then altcoins go up with the business cycle. Yeah, they are different. So the business cycle has ups and downs. Okay, the business cycle is outside of the control of the government. Yeah, it's based off psychology. Okay? The money printer is all on the government. Okay, it has these periods where it toggles it up. Money printer keep print, and then they stop, they slow it down to a point where there's a positive flywheel effect. Then there's a positive flywheel effect, and yeah, that's pretty much the economy takes over. We start doing the positive flywheel. Basically, the positive flywheel, you know, like one guy gives to another guy, spends money, goes buys a $3,000 pizza. The pizza guy does a handstand, goes on OnlyFans, gets more services, you know, starts releasing some special jelly beans in his store. Those things that starting to make the economy boom. That happens until what happens? The misallocation of capital starts. In 2021, you saw it as Dogecoin mania. You saw it as GameStop meme stocks. That's how like economists and the Fed will look at that and they go, well, I think you've gone a bit too far now. But really, they don't actually judge a lot of it. They just look at the data. They look at the CPI, the Kippy. Because the Kippy is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. They're like, oh, well, you're spending too much now. You're misallocating capital. So the first big pullback was great, and then you start misallocating, okay? That's pretty much how it works in a nutshell, friends. And then you've got to deal with the market pricing and stuff on top of that. This is the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 is still down. It's down 12% from the highs. But the beautiful part is, friends, Mr. Russell has done these gap ups with the stock market. You see that? Gap up, gap up. This is great to see, all right? So Mr. Russell 2000 is also a reflection of the business cycle, just like Ethereum, okay? So remember, friends, you know, the S&P 500 is near its highs, okay? Look at the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 is all the way down here. And the S&P 500, by the way, is above its, like it's towards the end. This was very, very weak. Russell 2000 was delayed from 6 to 7 months last year. So this is the actual stock market chart out here, S&P 500. Maybe there's going to be some jitters. Maybe Donald Trump and Elon Musk, maybe they kiss and make up and then have a tiff again, whatever. But yeah, this is very, very strong. This is a strong economy. Everything is going great. Yeah, it's taken its sweet ass time for the business cycle and the altcoins, but that's outside of our control. That's why you now know for the next cycle, that's your risk as well, friends. This is the business PMI, right? I show you this all the time. Just so you're aware. And like we now know for the next cycle, like, by the way, because we're all scarred for life, and we really, all of us, trust me, are scarred. I guarantee, and there's no guarantees, but I guarantee the next cycle, they're going to print less and the business cycle is just going to be stronger somewhere, whenever it starts. It's just going to surprise people, right? So that's like the opposite of what it is almost now, you know? So we'll see how that plays out. But that's going to be a while. We can't really worry about that, but that's why I just use that as an example in your mind to show you like, the money printer and the economy and all these things moving, it's separate to the business cycle. That's the most important part. And, you know, that's why I told you, right? Tether minting 2 billion, it coincides with all of these. It's just a sign that things are continuing and it's not over. So we'll see how it all plays out. I've got some breaking news as well, friends. I might have to make like another full video on this. So the Nasdaq has filed an SEC form to expand its crypto index to 9 coins. Now, if you remember, friends, this is OG. Your friend told me. OG. This is 2022. Right, the first things I was saying actually in 2021, I was saying this in 2021 and 2022. I really is 21, maybe like 5 years ago, man. I was literally, actually, this was even in 2020, friends. We're talking like, wow. I've been saying, be careful when they release the crypto index on the Nasdaq or the CME. Be careful. That's a sign that it's over. And I'm actually in shock. It looks like they're building up towards it. Right now, they got 9 coins. They added XRP, Cardano, Stellar. They actually added Stellar, XLM. They added Soy in there. So you finally like, how they get in there? I don't know. There's bribing and like, who knows? Who cares? Just put them all in. We don't give a shit. Okay, just put them in the index. So, and obviously, when I was saying it, you got to remember back then, no one knew what contrarian shit was. Everyone just thought, oh, I buy high and everything keeps going up forever. That's what everyone thought. And I sell low because everything keeps going down forever. That's what everybody thought. But then I was saying, no, that's a sign that everybody's now in crypto. Like everyone's heard about it now. Once you have the crypto index. So we need an index. We need it because it lets you bet on the whole industry. You don't have to choose between the winners and the losers, right? So we need a crypto index, but once it's in, it means crypto is so approved. It's so, tied in with society that no one hates it anymore. If no one hates it, okay, everybody's in. Everyone's long, which probably means it's going to be top signal stuff, okay? So I'll cover some more stuff on that later, but this is a nice ongoing story. They now added 9 coins to the index, you know? You never know. Maybe by the end of the year or the midway next year, whenever this cycle ends, maybe the index gets to like 30 coins or 20 coins, you know, whatever it is. And they're just like, hey, let's put the index. Or now we have 10 coins in there. Whatever the number's going to be, where they're actually ready to do it, you know? So what you actually be trading is you'll be trading, I guess, an ETF, which has a basket of these, and it might get reweighted, you know what I mean? But why we need it is you're owning all the winners, just like the S&P 500, right? Because that's what most people still don't know, right? When you own the S&P 500, you own every stock in the index, yeah? And like, so if let's say, friends, let's say Tesla goes to 0. Literally, if Tesla goes to 0 tomorrow, right? Yeah, the index goes down, but it'll eventually, what happens is the ETFs, they sell Tesla as it goes down every month, and they buy the other weights, and it basically equals it out. That's why the S&P 500 goes up over time. But what you actually find is the tough part, friends. Over like a 30-year period, I think it's really wild now. I think only like 25% of companies are still relevant in like 20 years from when they enter the index. That's how rough it is. So actually, friends, what I've done is I've actually looked up the real stat. Look at this. On average, companies in the S&P 500 tend to stay in the index for about 18 years. Wow, that's actually less than I thought. But look at this. In 1958, the answer used to be 61 years. You see that? That's wild. The lifespan of companies is getting shorter and shorter because we're becoming more digital, more globalized. Everyone learns off each other faster. Everything is getting faster and faster over time. That makes it even tougher for all of us, because now, like, yeah, you can't be really sure of anything. Yeah, but also look how fast crypto changes. Like, you know, one year of crypto is only 1 year of crypto is 4 years in the stock market, right? So that's why you need an index to protect yourself over time. You know what I mean? That's why, because you'll be buying the winners. It increases the weight on the winners over time. That's why the index will always come back. The index will, but what composes in the index is a totally different story. Saylor has bought 1,045 more Bitcoin, friends. So Michael Chad Saylor out here continuing to buy BTC. There he is out here, cybernetic hornet's nest. And his average price does continue to climb up. It is around 70,000 American dollars. Here we have 70,100. So keeps buying and buying and buying. He now earns 582,000 BTC. Yeah, so we're seeing this is part of the Bitcoin treasury bubble. That's actually what's cranking out here. What I'm going to do now, friends, also on the topic of Bitcoin, I just want to show you some blockchain backer, just some BCB fractals, some Elliott stuff out here. So basically, these two on the right-hand side, these are two Bitcoin in its past. And he's trying to just check out these two patterns. They're very similar. Okay, so pretty much if you look at it, Bitcoin does this like double top thing. Actually, it does basically like this M. And then it just basically, this is like everyone's fear point. Everyone like gives up here and then it goes up only, okay? On the right-hand side, it does the same thing again. It does like 3 M's, but there's this fear point here as well. And then it goes up only. That's actually what happened at the end of last year, right? This is pretty much it. I think this was Japan Pokemon Island exploding, right? Right there. So if we go to the far left now, so if we go here, this is where we are right now. You see how we've just come up here? And actually, Bitcoin has hit like 110, so around here. So that's what all I'm saying is, in case we get one more reset, don't lose it. That's all I'm saying. Don't lose it. Expect it. They're like, whatever, it's making us wait forever. Feels like it's a big scam. Okay, whatever. Just let it happen. There's nothing we can do about it. Just in case, okay? Just in case we get that. And then hopefully the up-only part is a slingshot effect, and maybe Ethereum's busting 3,000 and everything out here, okay? So we just got to let the market do its thing and we'll wait it out. Also, this was his zoom up of the Russell 2000, which I already showed you out here. The Russell 2000, this is cranking up. So, yeah, Russell 2000 is still low. Remember, I've shown you the ratios and everything out here. It is what it is, right? The Russell 2000, friends, 42% of the companies in there are not profitable. 42%. In the S&P 500, only 6% of companies are not profitable. All right. So the Russell 2000 is like US small cap altcoins, but they're not making any money and the business cycle's poop. You know, so you see, it's just like altcoins. Yeah. That's why I call it US small cap shitcoins, right? So because no companies are profitable in the Russell 2000, well, only like 40, only half of them are pretty much. Yeah. People don't feel confident to take on the risk that they're going to become profitable unless we're all going up with the business cycle. So right now, everybody's holding back, right? The economy is kind of moving along. Economy's been pretty shit out here. Some people doing okay, but it is what it is, just like the same. But there's nothing like boom. There's no booming part. And we know that, right? Look at Ethereum, look at altcoins. They're a reflection of them. So that's what we're pretty much waiting for. If we do get this boom, which we hope we do, AI boom, and like money gets freed up and whatever it is, okay? We'll start to see people feel more confident to take a more risk. And then hopefully we have a big repricing upwards, right? Because remember, friends, crypto, nothing's profitable in crypto. Most stuff aren't profitable, but you're not buying stuff based off the profit. You're buying stuff based off the economic activity of the city. Yeah, but then the thing is, the city is built on speculation and gambling. So if people aren't feeling good in the real economy, they're not going to come gamble in digital world. So that's why we are linked to the business cycle. But when the business cycle is going up, altcoins are going up as well. They're like, hey, you know, I'll go to a crypto and like throw it around there and stuff out here. But right now we don't. That's why we're still waiting and waiting. We'll see. I've also got a follow-up from one of my previous news. So Michael Saylor did not sell any MicroStrategy stock to fund MicroStrategy's $110 million Bitcoin buy. Proceeds came entirely from STRK and STRF at the market sales. So, that's, friends, we're in dangerous territory already for Michael Saylor. So they're minting Ponzi shares. They give you different like amounts that you're basically entitled to. And they're paying you like a 10% yield on it, whatever. So I think what they're doing is they go, well, if Bitcoin's going to grow at 60% per year, right? That's why, friends, it's so dangerous. Michael Saylor's stocks here, one of them, they're paying you 10% in perpetuity forever. Now, why are they doing that? Because Michael Saylor believes that Bitcoin is going to grow. Its long-term rate will grow at 20 to 30%. Now, I know the numbers don't mean much, but if you compound them over a long time, they're a lot. Gold grows around 6 to 8% per year. All right? Gold is exactly linked with the money printer, because gold has done nothing for 2,000, 3,000 years. It's never done anything, right? It's inert, it just sits there, right? So gold is the real inflation rate check on the world. Now, here's the thing. I always wonder why, okay, if Bitcoin is, they say better gold, all right, but why do you just assume Bitcoin's, why is Bitcoin going to grow at 20%? Do you have privacy? Do you have technology? Do you have DEXs? Do you have anything on there? No. Why is it going to grow at 20%? It's a very dangerous assumption. The good thing is, though, the growth rate of us, we're still early enough. We don't have to really worry about it. But, you know, when it comes to this stuff like this, right, whenever we start talking like this, it means you have to actually start worrying. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin 4-year growth rates that I've put out here, friends. So this is, remember, this is Bitcoin, right? It from 2020 to 2024, Bitcoin grew at 67%. All right. The past 4 years was 97, and before that, 165. So, like, I'm assuming the next one is 40%. And by the way, I'm low. Now, if you do 40% per year, where does that get you, friends? That gets you in 2028 Bitcoin halving. It gets you to 250K. Okay. So, but they got a very, very, very dangerous assumption, man. They have a very dangerous assumption to that. So if they think Bitcoin is like, you know, it grew at 67%. Remember, Saylor thinks this is going to grow like 60 and then 50 and then 40 and then just stay at 30% forever. See, those numbers are way above 10. That's why he goes, oh, we'll be able to pay you 10% of the stock every year. So that's why super dangerous, bro. Like very, very, very hardcore dangerous. Like, it relies on the 4-year cycle. There's just, oh man, it's just, but everyone thinks it's safe. So the fact is, friends, so while I'm out here playing with my Game Boy, playing the real games that matter, people out there, they're, man, I just like, dude, you guys, they're all older than us. You're all older than me. Like, you should know this more than me, bro. Like, how are you doing this? Have you not been a student of history? Like, every single cycle has stuff like this. People get ahead of themselves and it is what it is. But you know what they say as well? They go, oh, I'm the billionaire and you're not, so I know what I'm doing. And you know what? Maybe they're right. We'll play some angel music, okay? We'll spin our lollipop for him as well. See, friends, that's why it's important. You gotta have an off button, okay? Like I said, some people do not have an off button when they start drinking alcohol, okay? Yeah, friends, you guys told me stories. Some of you know, guys. I've known people like this where they have 1 or 2 drinks, okay? Then they get a ciggy, then they're at the casino, then it turns into drugs and debauchery for like, you know, 2 or 3 days, all off like 1 drink. So they can't have that drink. They have no off button, okay? It has to keep going. It has to keep going. So now they're just like, I just don't drink. They're just like full abstain from it. You know, people like that. But it's the same thing. Look at the leverage as well. You know, you have to have your own off button. If you don't have your own off button, well, look, at least open your eyes to people like me who do have an off button. Yeah. Or other people in other facets of life that do have an off button. But then you got to be careful, like, what's an off button, right? Because some people look what I'm doing. They're like, oh, you don't have an off button. You're here 18 hours a day. When do you turn off, right? You see what I mean? So everyone just has their own framework. And that's why it does get tough. But Michael Saylor obviously has got no off button at all. There's like, nope, I've got to buy an infinite amount. And that's why it's dangerous, bro. Like, you bought Bitcoin up as a ratio, very expensive against altcoins, which is the Bitcoin dominance. You bought it on leverage and you're assuming this thing's just going to go forever. Big mistake. UK firm Anemoy International adds Bitcoin to their treasury, investing 30% of cash reserves. So they bought about 3 to 4 Bitcoin, right? 3 to 4 Bitcoin. So as of December, they held about $1.2 million worth. So very interesting that they have put, so they've added, right, to put 30% of their cash reserves in. So that's what we might see, friends. A lot of like these small businesses, everyone out here starts to buy BTC, contribute to the Bitcoin treasury bubble. Like I say, man, it's just a matter of time, dude. You guys only know well the Bitcoin dominance going up. Wait till people start to want yield and swapping and tech and privacy and wallet access and all this other shit that you don't even know exists right now. Wait till people want that. You'll see. Ethereum community member proposes GDPR compliant privacy roadmap using modular design and privacy technology to align the network with EU rules while preserving decentralization. Check this out, friends. I don't understand what's going on in this map, but look at this. Okay, they pretty much, isn't this crazy, friends? You don't have this on Bitcoin, bro. The cypherpunks aren't there. So what they're doing is they're putting privacy solutions on Ethereum, but they want to make it compliant for the government, which I've been telling you has been happening. So how do they make it compliant? Well, you and I can't see your wallet stuff. I can't, okay? It's just keys on the internet. However, if the government comes to you and says, hey, maybe there's a crime. We need to check this exchange stuff. Sign these transaction with your key. We're going to send you a link. You sign it, and then it'll basically show them everything. It shows them everything. Okay, but I can't see it. You sign something as a key. You can prove or disprove something with your key access. Okay, so that's pretty much how it's all going to be built in the future. But Bitcoin doesn't have that, bro. You got nothing. You got Eric Wall dancing with wizards and stuff. I mean, you got to remember, like, I know I'm just sitting here. I'm just your average nipple tweaker. Okay, I'm just your regular guy, regular nipple tweaking guy. This stuff means nothing now to you. It means everything to me because I'm fading the crowd. The business cycle is low. People are not thinking straight. Yeah, I know when the business cycle goes up, you're going to want stuff like this, you know? It's kind of like you're trying to plan for a party and all you're thinking about is food. Yeah, all you're thinking about is food. Like that, you're thinking about, okay, going to get charcoal chicken for everyone, right? And then, but I'm thinking, hey, man, after food, people want a bit of a drink, you know? Do you have alcohol for people? Some people drink alcohol. Do you have orange juice? There's got to be orange juice. All right, but you need ice. Some people need 1, 3, or 5 ice cubes. Some of us go 7. Okay, they're cute little circular ice cubes that you can get. Some of us do the full 7 ice cube trip. Okay, what about dessert? All right, do you have cherries? Is it chocolate? Do we have any chips? Right, some salt and vinegar chips. Do we have any of those? You know, do you see what I mean? But that's why everyone in the markets are like, oh no, we're in full defensive mode because so you know it's going to be a matter of time, but it'll come. Tokyo-listed fashion retailer ANAP Holdings are going to convert their entire 11 billion yen raise into Bitcoin. So I love seeing this, friends. We're seeing more and more Bitcoin treasury stuff out here. Japan, random countries out here, people coming, converting in, which is boosting all of cryptocurrency land. So it's still a win for the whole industry. MapleStory's Web3 launch on Avalanche has pushed daily transactions past 1 million in a week. So this is the chart, friends. Remember, MapleStory is one of these cute games, right? Let's actually look it up. MapleStory. So I think it's one of those generic normie cute games. Whoa, MapleStory, this is cool. Look how cute it looks. Yeah, man, gaming is going to come back at some point. Remember, because gaming was cycle 1 in 2021. Now we're going to have cycle 2 effect for gaming, which is going to be, it's not going to be as like free money as everything out here, but I hope it all does well. And that's obviously business cycle stuff, right? Because people can't see the future when everything's going down yet. ChainLink powers pilot enabling CBDC stablecoin exchange between Hong Kong and Australia with Visa, Fidelity, and China AMC. So this is all, friends. Stablecoin super cycle, real world assets, tokenization, all these themes coming in. You know what's a real world asset as well? Putting stocks on crypto, you know, that's another thing as well. So they're all pushing forward. Chainlink, just have a quick check of the chart, friends. Painlink is, I'll bring up the chart now. This is kind of funny. This is the Bitcoin chart, friends. Look at this. James wins liquidation. Look, the market literally, friends, look, it was right here. The market literally just came down, liquidated James win, and then just went freaking up only, bro. So man, that's wild when you look at it. And I'll just put some cute arrows here just to like really solidify it. But what I'm going to do now, I'll just quickly show you Chainlink, friends. Chainlink out here, it is nice at $14.30. This is pretty much garbage. Let's actually look at it on a weekly chart. So Painlink is, yeah, around 14 bucks. Man, it's kind of, man, it was 20 bucks back 5 years ago, bro. You're still down after freaking 1,800 days. So Chainlink, if it gets to 160, it's about 11x from here. This is about 100 billion market cap. Okay, that's what it would be around here. Maybe it goes 160, I don't know, just ping up 200 and whatever. So that's just, you know, that's why I think it's all going. Chainlink will be in its like second cycle, Oracle stuff out and everything out here. But yeah, if you want to go further along the risk curve, we have PulseChain still out here. PulseChain barely reacting. Ethereum and Bitcoin going up. Yeah, all still waiting, friends. Nothing really to report. I know, man. What can we do? Like, this market's, man, waiting and waiting and waiting forever. Delaying gratification. You're seeing other people make money in random places. Someone buys some new coin out here, but you know, you just got to stick to the plan. That's what you got to do. PulseX has bought and burned now 7.2% of the total user supply. That's actually awesome. So it keeps cranking up. Now, I've actually got a bit of a warning alert as well, friends. So Plasma have raised $500 million for a public ICO. I don't even know what is Plasma. I'll actually quickly look it up now. Okay, it's just another dog shit chain. Plasma is a high throughput, scalable blockchain purpose-built for stablecoins. Interesting. I think I heard, friends, the maximum clip was 50 million, and Justin Sun might have put it in. Okay, Plasma is a stable chain. Okay, so it's optimized for stablecoin transactions. Oh, that's why it's big. It's backed by Tether. There you go. So Plasma attracts 500 million. There you go. Wow. So stablecoin super cycle. People want exposure to anything with stablecoins. They're like, oh, okay, let's release a chain for stablecoins. Kind of funny, friends. Remember, we still have juicy PDI and all this other stuff happening. But why is this dangerous? Exotic top signal, friends. Remember, I've been telling you for years, like, once we raise 1 billion for a public ICO, oh man, it's super dangerous. Super dangerous. That's exotic top signal, the end of time stuff. But look, it could go higher. And oh man, I hope there's more than one. In 2017, from 2017 to halfway 2018, EOS did its raise. It raised 4 billion. But then in 2021, public ICO, PulseX was the top, right? PulseChain and PulseX. PulseChain did 650 million. PulseX did 1.1 billion. They were the top out here. And I think in December 2021 was also Paradigm. They did 1 billion. But I don't know exactly how easy and public it was. But yeah, PulseX was a top signal. So $1 billion raise, man. That's why, friends, I'm not joking, man. I really hope Richard can stream again and literally just do a raise. Just do it, man. Just grab, because you can grab all the money. Yeah, you just do it, mark the top yourself. Right, it's one way to make the top. You actually get all the rest of the money. They all come and soak it in to whatever it is out here. But yeah, you're probably saying, oh, you're not going to participate. Yeah, but you're talking when your bags are down. And we all know markets are full of emotions, right? Markets are just basically pricing in everyone's emotions. If I made you euphoric, okay, and we're like trading 30x higher, you're going to put stuff in. Are you going to be like, yeah, friends, I can already see all your essays out here. I can already see everyone, you name them, everyone in the community saying, I'm sorry I doubted you, Richard. I'm sorry. Oh, I never should have doubted you. Oh, I feel so good. That's exactly, I could just see it straight away. It's just candles going up and down. And like, he knows this, I know this, we all know this. So the plan is to do it. If we do see a $1 billion ICO raise soon, I'm going to be nervous as shit. But it's a believer's cycle. So I'll be honest, man, there might be two. There might be two, friends. It just, but well, yeah. Hopefully there isn't. But you know, my God, this raised 500 million already because it's backed by Tether. Paolo, which is the Tether CEO, says real prices in Bolivian shops are now displayed in USDT Tether. So we've actually got a picture here, friends. This is crazy, man. So now we are, look at this, USDT. We now have items in the store. This is buying dairy milk, and these are Sunnies. USDT 357 or USDT 107. So they're actually quoting stuff in these currencies. But you got to think as well, friends. Tether, you have no edge, bro. Your edge is take everyone's money, give them no yield, and go buy government treasuries. Literally everyone in the world can do that. But here's the thing. We got stablecoin super cycle happening. So that means everything goes up first. Yeah, everything has to go up first. And then we think about, you know, who bought the top of Tether, who got too much exposure in stablecoin stuff later on. We'll see. Donald Trump has said he has no plans to get rid of Starlink at the White House, calling it a good service. So him and, you know, dad and daddy are fighting. Donald Trump and Elon Musk, some sort of like cute little distraction out here for whatever the hell is going on. We'll see how that all resolves itself. Amazon have announced a $20 billion US investment to advance AI innovation, whatever that means. AI brands, man, I'm talking, like I said, I'm talking to ChatGPT. I got questions now. I just start talking to it. You guys have been doing it for a while. I'm using it. A lot of you like early users of it. Man, it's freaking, man. This is way better than just this Google shit. Apple is dog shit. Siri, you're a slut. She actually just turned on right now. Siri, go back to sleep. She just said, sorry, I won't respond to that. You're a slut, Siri. My gosh. What, I paid thousands of dollars for this shitty phone? You don't have AI? Bro, how much? Apple, your #1 market cap. What have you been doing with your money? Tim Apple. What happened to those shitty VR glasses for Apple? Apple VR glasses. Do you remember them, friends? They flopped. Apple Vision Pro. Look at these. Now I can imagine what Bonnie Blue sees. Yay. Oh my gosh. Total flop. I'm telling you now, friends. When you lose the head, it's just the magic's gone, bro. That's why Berkshire Hathaway... Warren Buffett, you know Warren Buffett spent literally the past 3 decades trying to prepare Berkshire Hathaway for when he leaves. I freaking guarantee you it's never going to be the same. I guarantee you. It'll do good for a while, but just, yeah, they'll never be the same. Thank God we got Paulie Boo Atkins, though. SEC Chairman Paulie Boo Atkins says they are working on policy to exempt DeFi platforms from regulatory barriers. So, beautiful. Stablecoin stuff. They probably put their own category out here. Things aren't securities. See, friends, we're not worried about the legal framework of crypto anymore. So, man, you know, I literally said this 2 years ago. I said, I bet the government will like crypto at some point, and you're still going to see it doesn't make the coins automatically go up. It's exactly what happened. Donald Trump has his own coin. If you wrote all of these news events down 5 years ago, you'd think Bitcoin's trading at 900,000. You'd think Ethereum's trading at literally 35,000. Hey, Donald Trump becomes president, launches his own meme coin, says meme coins are okay. He buys Bitcoins on the balance sheet, all these strategic reserves. We've got Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. You'd literally be thinking Bitcoin's literally flipped gold at this point, and Ethereum's trading at what, $40,000, $50,000, $70,000. And look what it's, yeah, it's all priced in, man. It all gets priced in. But we're going to keep seeing some juicy FOMO from people like Pomp.
Bitcoin. Now, I don't think that's something that's going to happen in 1, 3, maybe even 5 years. But I do think that there is a growing group of people who say, look, this thing called Bitcoin is ultimately going to be a store of value, as it already is. But it will become a medium of exchange as well. It just needs to get to a point where the world all agrees on what is it worth. And if you think in 2018, the world thought it was worth $3,000 a coin. Today, the world thinks it's worth $105,000 a coin. It's going to continue to go higher, and at some point, it will reach some market equilibrium. And then when you see that switch over into, okay, now things are priced in Bitcoin, I think that's kind of the hyper-Bitcoinization that the Bitcoiners are waiting for. But there is a long path to get there, and the sequence right now is, why would I want to spend my Bitcoin if it's going to be worth more in the future, right?
I love that talk. I love that talk. Trust me, in the bear market, they're going to be saying, why would I spend my stable coins when my Bitcoin's losing value every 3 months? I should spend that first. Literally, we are going to be reading that in the future. But let's hope we're from much, much higher prices. So Bitcoin, friends, 110,000 American dollars. I'm just here to protect you, just in case we do get the little, oh no, man. Just in case we get that, friends. Just in case, just don't panic. If we get that little thing out, right? You know, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. I'm waiting. Because, friend, look at me. We were like, well, the fractal's already passed. We're like 7 months overdue, whatever. You know, we're in black swan territory for cycle stuff. But we'll see. I'm holding. I'm not cheating. You aren't either. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.